up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in the trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, they make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live it. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, and they are in full roar as you get a look inside Lumen Field in Seattle. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Who will punch the 4th and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Go off a handoff here to Swift. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run here with Swift. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. This is taken at the 15. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They look to throw. It's Locke. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Walker now on 1st and 10. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Block now to throw. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, To have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll get this out wide to Metcalf. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, that's good for a first down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Goff now looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here's Jack Fox on to punt. On the punt return. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Adams, the man in motion left. On 2nd and 1, Goff. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Locke, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll go for it. It's Locke. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. This is Swift on the counter. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Swift going to try up the middle. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On 4th down, Goff departs, and Austin Seibert is out there for the Lions field goal now. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt him later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Four yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On the return is Williams. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Williams, a man in motion right. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Gone. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Locked incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Goff. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Throwing again is Goff. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot before break here. Goff. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Aiden Hutchinson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
Here's Williams to return. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
first down, and they go with Swift again. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 2nd down, Swift. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. Now gone. Open man is Raymond. He's got it. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Walker. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Play action. Now it's Locke. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. So that, Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something? Because we're into the 3rd quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Goff. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the gun, here's Swift. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
2nd and 11.
Hold on. Hey, lift.
Back to throw, Goff. And he wisely will throw that one away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And he fires one that's intercepted. There he goes right side. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really, you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. 98 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. See the athleticism there of Brian Burns stopping him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here we go.
Adams, the man in motion left.
Hey, 5.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's Goff. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Goff now looking to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And take it right at the 35. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Goff a handoff here to Swift. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Goff. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Nwosu able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. They go ahead and snap it. Gone. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Locke. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To the right side, this is Walker. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Walker with another carry. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. Sliding out of the pocket. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And the tight end goes in motion left. Here's Goff. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.